Hello, this is Sean from Time and Talk. Today, I thought I'd make a video on the Rolex 114270. I think, fell out of love with this watch, so I just thought I'd go through the bits and pieces that come with it, just to try and fall in love with it again, really, and to see what you guys think. So, here's the watch. This is a Z serial, so it's I think that means it's from 2006, is what the serial dates it to. But this watch was purchased in 2008, in early 2008. And I got this, you know what? I can't even remember when I got it. It wasn't that long ago. I traded a 39mm Explorer for this watch. And unquestionably, I prefer the 36mm and the older models to the newer ones. But it's the problem, I guess, with the Explorer, and tell me what you think in the comments, is it's not a very exciting watch. It's brilliantly designed. It's a lovely watch. It's functional, but it's a time only watch that's pretty plain. So perhaps that's the issue. Perhaps I like shiny things, and I'm becoming a little bit jaded maybe with the watch itself. And I think the novelty and the thrill, I guess, of owning a Rolex. You know, when you first hold a Rolex, you're like, wow, this is a Rolex, and then after a while, you take it for granted, I guess. So this is a very expensive. I mean, in my book, this is a very expensive watch. But when I'm wearing it, it doesn't feel like it. That's a good thing because it's under the radar. But it's also, maybe it doesn't feel special in the way that, you know, a two-tone date just would, that was like a little bit shinier and things like that. So who knows what will happen in the future. At the moment, I've got no plans or anything to sell this or to trade it. But it's not got the thrill fight. I'm not in a honeymoon period anymore, if you like. So I'll go through the watch. I'll just show you what kind of paperwork you get with a Rolex when you buy one. I just looked the box up yesterday, and it's actually a little bit damaged. I'm not sure. I don't think it's water damage, but anyway, you'll see. So I'll just go through the watch first. So this, like I said, this is from 2006, I think. So it's about 20 years old. Excuse me for my fingernails. They are pretty short, but they're longer because some people have put me in comments about my fingernails on the videos. So yeah, this is a 114270. Essentially, what that means is the 14270 that came before. That was also prior to the year 2000, but prior to the Lume, Super Luminova. So this is Luminova, Super Luminova, sorry. And this is towards the end of the run of the 114270. So it's got an engraved Rehort. I think the engraved Rehort on the Explorer came in around about 2006. I think it was the last part of 2006. So this was at the end of the run of the well, it actually wasn't, because obviously the Rehort, it came when the Rehort had been introduced, but it wasn't really at the end of the run because 2011 the 39 Explorer came out. So yeah, I mean, you'll know this already, but on the dial, the 3, 6, and 9 are not loomed, unlike in the newer version of the Explorer and in the 39 Mark II. It's fine. It doesn't bother me at all. You know, why would it? You can still tell the time. The loom does last for the whole night, and you can tell the time even, you know, halfway through the night, whatever. It's obviously an accurate watch, being a Rolex, being a superlative chronometer, as they call it. Nothing much to see in relation to the functions. It's a time only watch. Yeah, and then you've got the oyster bracelet. This, I imagine, yeah, I'm pretty certain this has been polished before, because it's in a really good condition, I think, for being almost 20 years old. You can see scratches. Those are probably from me, to be perfectly honest. And I think probably the people's least favorite things about these watches is the older style clasp. I like the older style Rolex bracelets. I think they're charming, and that's almost a backhanded compliment, isn't it? But the newer ones are too blocky. They're brilliant and they're hard wearing and things like that, but they almost feel too square, if you like. Whereas this is a bit more curvaceous, a bit sexier, should we say? And obviously you've got the stamped clasp, but I like it. I honestly do. And yeah, objectively it would be less sturdy than the older ones, but that's not an issue. It's comfortable on the wrist and it's handsome, in my opinion. I think I've heard people compare like the difference between a vintage Rolex and a new one to like a modern car and a vintage Porsche or whatever. And not that I would know because I don't know anything about cars, but I can see what they mean, because these clasps are crap, but they're really nice at the same time, if that makes any sense. So then you've got the engraved Rehort. You can see, I'm sure. See if I can switch the camera there. Right, which is cool. I like the engraved Rehort. I wouldn't have minded if it didn't have it, but it does, so that's cool. And then yeah, that's the watch. So I'm going to put it back on the wrist, and then we've got the box. So it's cool. I mean, I like the packaging. With something that's like so expensive, and you know, people save up for their whole lives for these things, it makes it part of it, you know. So I've got like a Cartier tank must as well, and the box is just lovely. The Cartier box is really iconic, and in the same way as the Rolex crown is, you know. This is a newer style box, so I think, I'm not sure if it was like 2004, but they brought in a newer style box, which is like this. It's a little bit cold, a little bit more sterile than the older ones. Annoyingly, like, it was in storage, so the paperwork had been stacked on top and it got stuck, and to the bottom as well. So that's a bit annoying, but it's, you know, it's a box. It's nothing to worry about. I've got an old service Rolex pouch there as well, and essentially in a Rolex, when you buy one, what you get is, obviously you get the extra links. So I've got a really small wrist, so there's some extra links in there, and then you get the hang tags, which are like actors guarantee things, and then a kind of old style hang tag as well, which, well, definitely will have came with the watch when it was bought, so you still get that kind of thing. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about what they represent completely, to be honest. It's like a guarantee thing, but it's just a cool thing to have, like a complete set, I guess they call it, don't they? And the extra links are obviously important. If you ever choose to sell it or whatever, the other person will need to size it for their bracelet. I've got a girl's wrist, so that will be important for them. And then you get like a manual, so with all the information about the watch. So, you know, this is about the expedition to Everest, which obviously the creation of the Rolex Explorer, and all of the information about the different styles of bracelets and things like that. I haven't actually looked at this since I bought it, and it's cool because, you know, it's a testament to the time that this Rolex was out as well. You get slightly different ones depending on what watch you bought. I think this will just come with any time only watches, maybe. I could be wrong about that, to be honest. But yeah, it's a cool thing to have. And then you get A guarantee booklet. I have no idea what it's for. I mean, it says for the manuel de garantie, attestation de. It's to give you information about the warranty. I don't have the warranty because it's from 2008 and it will have run out by now. I'm not sure if this watch has ever been serviced, to be perfectly honest. I imagine it has because it's working really well and it's keeping great time, but I don't know. And then in a Rolex you also get the card. I'm not going to show you that because it's got the serial number on it. But what happens is they get the card and they fill it in with your details, and it also is stamped by the shop that you bought it from. Sometimes they don't date these and things like that, but I think it is important to have them dated and things. Sometimes when you buy a second-hand Rolex, it says undated guarantee and things like that. I don't think that would be a massive problem, particularly nowadays, because you've got the authorized used Rolex thing. But it's really good to have. I mean, it's nice as well because it's a bit of the history of the watch, isn't it? Because you know this was bought, I think, in January 2008. Maybe it was April 2008. So you know it's cool to know that, and you know, particularly for a really vintage watch, you get a bit of a story together. And all of these books do provide you with a bit of a history of the watch. A bit gutted about that box, though. It's got a bit of damage to it now, but that couldn't have been helped, to be honest, because it would have happened whenever I took the paper from it, so I couldn't really help that. Yeah, so that's what you get in a Rolex when you buy it. So let me know what you think of the watch and tell me what I should do to get myself back in love with the watch. I think I'm probably need to buy maybe a couple more straps and things like that, and you know, be grateful that I've managed to buy a Rolex, and that, you know, I can tick that off my bucket list, if you like, because it is something that not everybody is able to do, and I realized I'm grateful for that. Anyway, yep. Thanks very much for watching. Tell me what you think of the video in the comments. If you like the channel, please subscribe. Thanks very much. Bye bye.